Jai Sri Krishna. This session marks the beginning of chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. So today we will recite verses 1 to 7 of this chapter, and then we'll delve into the profound philosophical meaning of these verses. So chapter 13 is very, very philosophical in its nature. Okay. So what does it talks about? It explores the material and spiritual dimension of us as a living being. That's the beauty of this chapter. Deep philosophy. The material aspect representing the body. So this body is material dimension of our existence. And it has been referred as Kṣetra in this chapter. So Kṣetra means, literal meaning of Kṣetra is field. And the spiritual aspect, the spiritual dimension of our existence is called Kṣetrajña, the knower of this field, the knower of this body. Okay, so this chapter talks about these two dimensions, material dimension and spiritual dimension. And appropriately, it has been titled as Kṣetrajña Vibhag. So understanding the body and soul. So this is the topic of this chapter. This chapter starts with question from Arjun. So let's recite the verses and look into the meaning and significance of these as we progress. Arjun Uvach Prakiritim Purusham Chaiva Kṣetram Kṣetrajñamev Cha Etad Viditum Ichchami Jnanam Gyeyam Cha Keshava. So this chapter opens with Arjun presenting three profound questions to Lord Krishna. So the first question is, what is Prakriti, the material energy? And what is Purush, the spiritual essence? What is Kṣetra, the material aspect of our existence? And what is Kṣetrajña, the spiritual consciousness within? And then the third question is, he is curious to know about what is true knowledge and what are the essential truth that one should understand. Very deep philosophical questions from Arjuna. Then Lord Krishna responds. Sri Bhagavan Vach Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kṣetramitti Bhidhiyate Etadiyo Vedditam Prahuhu Kṣetrajña iti tadvidah Kṣetrajñam chapi mam vidhi Sarva Kṣetreshu Bharata Kṣetra Kṣetrajñayor Jnanam Yat taj jnanam matam mama. Lord Krishna explains that know this body as Kṣetra. So this body is Kṣetra, field. And the conscious self, rather soul or Atma, we will see it. Soul is higher than consciousness. We will see it later, but for understanding perspective, let's call it conscious self that perceive and experience this body, that uses this body as a tool is Kṣetrajña. So the knower of the field, the enjoyer of this field, the user of this field is Kṣetrajña. So Krishna further reveals that he is the supreme Kṣetrajña. So, that is sometimes referred to as super soul. Okay. We may consider it like this. So soul, it's like, individual existence. It has got individual existence, and super soul is the one that is related to the supreme divinity. That is related to supreme divinity. So that's what Lord Krishna says. He is the supreme Kṣetrajña. So he is the reason for our existence, for each and every individual's existence. He is the spiritual essence of each and every living being. He emphasizes the true essence of knowledge lies in understanding the nature of Kṣetra and Kṣetra. So here is the deep philosophy. The philosophy of understanding this body and the spiritual essence, that which uses this body, that which enjoys this body. And that is Atma. So this is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is knowing this body and the enjoyer of this body, or the experiencer of this body. So, this kind of knowledge or wisdom bridges the material and spiritual dimensions of our existence. Lord Krishna further says, Tat Kṣetram yacca yadrikcha yad vikari yadasyayat sachayu yad prabhavascha tat samasen me shinu rishibhir bahudha gitam छंदोभिर विविधे पृथक ब्रह्म सूत्र पदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर विनिश्चिते. Lord Krishna urges Arjun to attentively understand the nature of Kṣetra and Kṣetrajña. He is explaining the inherent characteristics, the transformation that this body undergoes, and because of that, the various effects and influences, that happens around our existence. He emphasizes that the truth about Kṣetra and the Kṣetrajña has been expounded by many rishis and munis in the form of Geet and Chand, in the form of songs and verses. So, in ancient time, our rishis, they used to write the whole treatise, epic, in the form of verses and songs. Okay, so that's what Lord Krishna is telling. And he especially talks about Brahma Sutra. So Brahma Sutra, it's a major treatise of Vedanta, and it extensively talks about Kṣetra and Kṣetrajña. So there also expounding on this subject is there. So it's a deep philosophical topic, and multiple rishis have given their views, have shared their understanding of Kṣetra and Kṣetrajña, means body and knower of the body. So, Lord Krishna further says, Mahabhutanya hankaro buddhir avyaktamev cha indriyani dashaikam cha panchendriye gocharaha इच्छा द्वेषः सुखं दुःखं संघातश्चेतना धृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारम् उदाहृतम्. Lord Krishna provides a detailed explanation of what constitutes this body. This is very important to understand what are the various elements which constitute this body. So he enumerates these as following. Panch Mahabhut. The first and foremost is the five fundamental elements which constitutes this body. And that is earth, meaning soil, water, fire, air, and space. So this is the physical foundation of all material existence. And then there are three subtle elements. Ego, the sense of I-ness, in Sanskrit it is called ahankar. Then intelligence, buddhi, and unmanifest nature. That is rajogun, satogun, and tamogun, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of inertia. So these subtle elements influence our thought and identity. Then there are five senses: eyes, ears, tongue, skin, and nose, responsible for perceiving the world. And then, mind is something which helps perceive. Mind is basically inside, and these, sense organs are outside. Okay. So these sense organs feel something using the mind. So mind is also one of the elements. And then there are five working organs. That is our mouth or voice, hands, legs, anus, and genitals, which enable action and interaction with the environment. And then there are five object of senses. Okay. So what are these object of senses? Sight or form, sound, which is the ears object, then taste, our tongue's object, touch, feeling object, smell, object of our nose. So these are the sense organs which perceive and these are the objects. These are the objects of senses that our sense organs perceive and then interact with. So Krishna explains that the interplay of these 24 elements result in the experiences like desire, jealousy, pain, consciousness, dhriti, fortitude. So there is interplay between senses, object of senses, okay, and then our body, which is made of gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, and subtle elements, that is your ego, intelligence, and our unmanifest nature, satogun, rajogun, and tamogun. So basically, it's all interplay of these 24 elements which result in desire. When we see something, when we hear something, when we feel something, we desire for that. When we don't have something and someone else is having it, we will have feeling of jealousy. When our sense organs interact with sense objects, we will have pleasure or pain. And because of all these interplay, only consciousness also arises. So soul is above the consciousness. Soul is above the consciousness. Consciousness helps us be aware. Okay, but soul is something higher than that. Nirgun. It has no attributes, no quality. So together these 24 elements constitute the material field. That is your Kṣetra. And this is the basis for human existence and the interactions of living entity with the external world. External world. So this understanding provides a comprehensive view of body and its connection with the material realm, material dimension. What is the material dimension of our existence? This is what it is. Then, in the coming verses, Lord Krishna enumerates qualities that form the foundation of true knowledge or Gyan. Because this was one of the questions from Arjun. What is Gyan? What is knowledge? And what is worth knowing? So there has to be some fundamental qualities to understand what is knowledge. So this is what Lord Krishna is now talking about, elaborating upon. He says, Amanitvam madambhitvam ahimsa shantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham asthairyam atmavinigrahah indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam asakti anbhishwangah पुत्रदार गृहादिषु नित्यं च समच्चित्त्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिर्व्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् हरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानम् यद्योन्यथा. Lord Krishna enumerates qualities that form the foundation of true knowledge. That is Gyan, as it is called in Sanskrit. These attributes cultivate an inner state conducive to a spiritual realization. How can we realize, how can we align ourselves with soul, with divinity? Okay, so these are the attributes which act as foundation for that. Connect ourselves with divinity. So very important. Amanitvam, no pride, lack of pride, amanitvam. Okay, humility, we may call it. Complete absence of pride and desire for recognition. Adambhitvam, that is non-pretentiousness. Being non-pretentious means sincere and authenticity, no show off, no hypocrisy. Ahimsa, that is non-violence, avoiding harm to anyone through your actions or, a speech. That is ahimsa. So amanitvam, lack of pride. Adamvitvam, lack of showmanship. Non-violence, that is avoiding harm to anyone through your actions or speech. Forgiveness. So how does it help? It helps remain calm and composed in the face of provocation, harm, and injustice. So forgiveness is very important quality needed to align ourselves with divinity, align ourselves with a spiritual essence, that is soul. Then simplicity. Simplicity is the best luxury. Service to teacher. It signifies willingness to learn, willingness to know things, purity, cleanness, both external and internal. Freedom from negativity, desire, and attachment. Steadfastness and self-control. We have to be steadfast in whatever we do, controlling our senses, which has tendency to make us wander, make us go where we should not. That should be avoided. And then vairagya, detachment from sensory object, absence of ego. I. Get rid of this. And a constant awareness of suffering, understanding the pain of birth and death, and diseases. So this kind of understanding keep us aware of the limitations of the negative side of identifying ourselves with the material existence. And this understanding only promotes us, encourages us to align ourselves with the spiritual dimension of our existence, and helps us understand the the smallness, or how I should express it, non-importance of material dimension of our existence. And thereby, what happens? We focus on detachment. We, we try to balance our relationship and maintain equanimity. If we are too much aligned with our material existence, there will be so many things. The emotional aspect, attachment, desire, jealousy, which will drag us into painful situation. Okay, so the attributes that Lord Krishna talks about is the basis for aligning with divinity. So Lord Krishna highlights the qualities of exclusive devotion, love for solitude, and detachment from meaningless social interactions as essential trait for seekers on the path of knowing the truth. on the path of true wisdom. So constant focus on a spiritual knowledge and insight into the ultimate truth. Now, this is the definition or answer for the second question, which is third question that Arjun asks, what is knowledge? So constant focus on a spiritual knowledge and insight into the ultimate truth is considered true knowledge. Anything contrary to this is ignorance. Ignorance is created due to material attachment. So once we rise above material plane and strive to align ourselves with a spiritual essence, then we are knowledgeable. And that is what is worth knowing. So once we know that, okay, these are the foundational qualities. Amanitvam, madambhitvam, lack of pride, no showmanship, non-violence, forgiveness, equanimity, simplicity, service to teacher, that is willingness to learn, purity. We start implementing or inculcating these qualities in ourselves. And by inculcating these qualities, we align ourselves with the spiritual aspect of our existence and get freedom from the miseries which are caused on the material plane. So very deep philosophy. In the upcoming session, we will explore more about this philosophy. So keep watching. Thank you very much.